start streaming again. And we should be good. Let's hope everything's actually working. Right. Looks live on YouTube, and it is hopefully live on Twitch. Which I always forget I need to separately update Twitch's thing.
Okay, I can hear you on YouTube.
Cool. There we go. Okay, and we also have we're probably going to have a generally short session. Aaron's going to be leaving us in about an hour and a half.
Okay.
And that's fine, because it's what I'd call like a cooldown
session. It's a healing session.
Yeah,
cooldown. All good.
So, first of all, story points. Who has what? I think you might all be out, because I was giving them out.
0.
And they were being spent.
Yeah.
They were being spent right away.
Yeah. So, someone give a recap. Pick a color. Actually, here.
Nose goes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have very good notes, unfortunately.
All right, Sean.
I remember. That's me. All right. This is how it went down. We stood at the mouth of the cave. It was an aqueduct carved out of fine stone. The carving was exquisite, done by real masterworks, but must have been done by giants because it was huge. There was a dead horse carcass. It smelled worse than, well, it smelled worse than all of my brothers and sisters' armpits. I've got a big family. This is Gim, of course, giving the recap.
I thought this was Sean. Okay.
No.
Yes, please remind us what happened last time. We're all sitting around the fire, and just Gim's telling us this.
Right. So, the tunnel, the aqueduct, it was dark, but there was torches in sconces. And I went and I grabbed one of the torches. We lit it up with some fire flint. I had a Sharn hold it. And as we went down, we realized that there's also a branching path, a hole dug into the side of the tunnel. We went in, we looked around. It was all dirt. I loved it. Nice decor. There was a big pile of dirt on the side there, kind of lumpy and stuff, but we didn't really pay much attention to it. But to the side was someone we recognized. Luther, right, that was his name. I remember these things. So Luther was there, barely alive. Just the slightest breath. We went to check on him. We tried to heal him, but none of us knew really what to do. Sharn tried first, but he's a big rock. He doesn't understand the squishies. And then B stepped in, which she's a baker. She's great at kneading dough and stuff. But all of a sudden, she remembered that she was actually quite good at medicine, which was very good because I tried too. But humans and gremlins, we're not really built the same. But as we were trying to save poor Luther, all of a sudden, whack! A troll, which was that big pile of dirt I mentioned earlier, rose up and hit Sharn and I with its club. It left B alone, maybe because it doesn't have very good eyesight. But I hit Sharn and I went flying and bounced off the wall. I'm fine, of course, because I'm a gremlin. But Sharn just went boom, and it made a thunderous thud. The most thunderous thud you could imagine. we locked into battle. I bounced off the wall and hit the troll in the head with a hammer. Isharn followed suit, breaking its arm. So on and so on, and Isharn just keeps beating the pulp out of that troll. Thank goodness. We let the troll recover for a little while, and we go further down the dark tunnel until we see a light. When we see the light, our light goes out. B sneaks ahead to see what's in the other side and sees 4 goons. B comes back and, according to B, starts to do a game of charades with us, but none of us could see because it was in the dark. After we finally sorted that out and we understood that there was 4 bad guys, we went forward. I hid behind Isharn so I could do a surprise attack. Isharn, not wanting to be stealthy, decided to just walk in as if he was alone and demand the bow from the 4 goons. Oh yeah, did I mention they had the bow? So they felt pretty confident because they were like, oh, this is a big giant stone guy, but there's 4 of us fleshies. Wrong idea, pal. Because then I come out, whack, with my sling, and pow! I throw I shoot out one of the flash ammo that we have. Fortunately, Isharn looks away, but I was so amazed. I wanted to see how it worked. And I jumped out with my hammer, and I couldn't see a thing, and one of the guys whacked me pretty hard. But that's all right. Isharn was able to take lead. But then, pow! From the Gondak's very bow, a missile, an arrow, struck him in the chest, causing cracks down his side. It was terrifying, but that's what gave me the rage in my eyes, and I went in and engaged the bow wielder with my hammer, whack, 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 hitting him in the head, which got his attention off of my good friend Isharn. Isharn then took on 2 more, while B, hiding, lurking in the shadows, goes and takes out the 4th one with her special pointy stick, which instantly knocks them out. Amazing. She does that with the next person to help with Isharn. Half the crew gone. Good job, B. Meanwhile, Isharn decides to team up with me to get the main big bad guy. He tries to recruit Isharn, but Isharn isn't having any of that. I even said, well, what about the money? How about he joins us? Maybe he can help us? But no, Isharn's like, no, this guy, he's no good. He's run to the core. So we just go ahead and knock him out. There was a locked door, which it was locked from our side, so we could have opened it. But we decided we were really beat up and we should leave. And we had the bow, so that was great. So we decided to book it out of there. We picked up Luther on the way. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. We had a moment of silence. And then we got up again. And then we decided to double back and risk going back the troll, who is still beaten to a pulp, but we were worried was going to stand up at any time. And we went and got our little prisoner, one of the ones that's, oh yeah, did I mention that we let one of the guys go? Yeah, he just surrendered, and we were like, we don't want to fight you either. So we let him run. But we grabbed one of the people who were knocked out by B's poison. Poison, but it's a sleeping poison, so, you know, they're going to be fine. And so Isharn grabbed them up. Oh yeah, did I mention that B and I fixed up Isharn? Right, we fixed up Isharn. We went and we put pitch in the big crack and we wrapped him together, so he's all put together for now. And oh yeah, there was a bunch of crates and stuff, and we were going to talk about loot. Mm. and then we all headed back to Millshrine. And that's what happened.
That was quite the recap. Gave me time to get the map re-updated.
You're welcome.
Did you have future in politics with that
Hmm.
level of filibustering.
I could go on.
I'm sure you could. That'll be a social media post. Cough. So, yeah, I mean, you pretty much, I don't think you missed anything. Big part of the reason I do these recaps is just to see if people actually remember everything that happened. And I don't think you missed. Did you write it down? Like, what the heck? That was.
No, that was off of the top of my
You
head.
described, like, every turn. Well.
Yeah, that's how my memory works when I remember.
So, we're heading back to town. And you do get there at the end of the day. Like, the sun is down. People are in bed by the time you get back to town. Welcome. Which, by the way, I did update the map, as you can see here. I mean, this is pretty much the same.
See.
Yeah, where to look?
Oh, crap. Am I not actually showing you guys the...
No,
Yeah, I've just been looking at your mat.
it's a very pretty mat.
Yeah.
It is a very pretty map. Now, let's get you
I think it's on
seeing what you're
the-
supposed to be seeing.
Our screen share.
Wait, what? Why can't I screen share?
Also, Gim would suggest that we wake up the town master. Let's go knock on the door. Let's tell them
Oh.
we have the bow. Let's get our reward. Let's tell them the festival is back on.
Mhm.
Let's sell some
There it is.
materials.
That's what you're supposed to.
Okay. I can see.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, that is an updated map. Looks like it has some more markers. I like it.
Yes. Still has a way to go, but it's good enough for now, and I don't know how to turn off my normal video. But disable the camera. Aha! There we go. So that's all you need to see. Here we go. You can actually see the thing that I was trying to show you. Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. So I don't even have to pull out the arrow. Although I can pull out the arrow.
The arrow is great.
It
So-
helps.
Ah,
y-
yes.
You guys were here. Wow, you can barely see that. That's the tower. This is the river that you followed to get there.
Got it.
Just to give you guys a little bit more spatial idea. So, Gim here is suggesting that we go to immediately wake up the town master. You do have a prisoner and a corpse in tow.
Perfect time to wake up the town master. Middle of the night while everyone's sleeping. We've got the bow. We'll put it in a safe place. We'll get the prisoner somewhere where they won't escape when they wake up. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Any objections?
None from me.
No.
Oh,
no
great. Let's go.
objections here.
Oh, see, they agree with me.
Okay. Well, then, heading back to the town master's house, you are met. Well, you meet. I assume you go to the front door. You do see Weston,
Yeah, of
the junior guard, watching the door there, and he greets you as you approach. But he seems very concerned as you are basically just dragging two bodies behind you, or I guess you're carrying them over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yep.
So since there are two bodies just slung over your shoulder, Weston has a look of urgency on his face as you walk up and he says, Isharn, what's going on? Do we need medical attention?
No, I throw the prisoner guy down on the ground in front of him.
Don't worry, he's just sleeping.
Yeah. we'll need to question him later. Make sure he has a place to stay, a place where he can't run from.
Yes, it's behind a locked door. Don't fumble with those keys, Weston.
And then probably offer him some water before you interrogate him. He's going to be very he's going to be a little bit groggy.
What interrogation? What are you talking about?
He had.
Oh, this
he
is
was
the bad
one of
guy.
people who had the bows.
You found
Speaking
it?
of which- yes.
Oh, yes, we should have led with that.
Oh yeah, and like Gim just like blinks over, grabs it. It was probably like hanging off of Asharn's back as well, or something, because Asharn is our. Yeah, and we go. It's right here. See.
This is excellent news, but what about the other?
Ah, well.
Sean looks grim. This is Luther. He went off to try and find the bow as well, and didn't make it. We're gonna take him back to the Hunters Guild, and let them take care of things with him.
Fell victim to a troll.
A look of horror passes over Weston's face, and he says, "Oh, that's terrible. I'll go get the town master." And he disappears into the house. And a couple minutes of the silent night passes. The only sound, the wind, and the faint creaking of the mill in the distance. And then Townmaster Avon opens the door. You can tell he made an attempt to look a little more presentable, but he's still very much woken up out of bed, and he says, "Weston told me the news," and his face falls as he actually sees Luther. "Follow me inside. We can discuss in the meeting room." And he takes you into the room where the window is still broken, where the bow had originally been stored. And he reaches to take the bow and says, "May I?" And
Yeah.
he restores it to the still glassless case that it had been in, as though he's trying to find just something to do with his hands. And he sits down and offers you all to sit upon the various ornate furniture around the room, and says, "Well, the reward is yours. Well done, but this is not how I expected the return of this item to feel."
We have to take the good with the bad sometimes.
Weston, take the unconscious visitor to the holding cell, and Weston quietly says, "Yes, sir," and he takes him from Isharn and just kind of cradles him, like carrying him as an unconscious person. And he goes back outside toward the guardhouse, and Townmaster Avon gestures toward you all in a kind of speak freely manner and says, "Tell me what happened."
Well, Gim can go back and tell the whole story from the beginning, just as I did during the recap.
Perhaps we could have some tea while we talk.
And so you do. And so Gim tells the story. And so Avon takes up the mask that he wears as a town master, and after giving himself a few moments to grieve, resumes back to business and says, "We will alert Luther's family and the Hunters Guild in the morning. For now, I thank you. I will get the reward together for you again in the morning. I hope you don't mind the delay, but I think we should all try and get some rest tonight. Here." And he gives you a few gold and tells you to use it to go get us to take a stay in the what's it called, the Humble Swallow. Yes. He says, "Here's enough fare to cover a night's stay at the Humble Swallow. I'm not sure my housing here is sufficient for... Well, I suppose, actually, there are 3 of you, but one of you is very tiny, so..." He says, "You're welcome to use my guest room if you desire, but if not, you can..."
Well, I wouldn't want to intrude, I feel. I have my own accommodations, of course.
Oh, of course.
As do we.
Well,
Is there any place you'd like me to take Luther for the night?
you can leave him here. Jericho and Weston will take care of the proceedings for tomorrow.
All right.
And he gestures toward a couch. That's full length, but he does place down a thicker blanket on top of it and says, "Just leave him there, and I'll deal with it tomorrow."
All right. Asharon will place him down there a lot more carefully than he did with the other guy.
Yeah. Now, Asharn, we better take some time in the morning to give you a scrub down. You still got the troll guts all over you. It's all right.
Oh, when I was trying to intimidate those people last session, I should have activated that. Control guts.
I think you did.
Yeah, I think so.
I mentioned it, but I should have activated it to get like a +1 or something.
Yeah. Well, in that case, you all rest up, and I mean, we'll do a rest here.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Heals my health, 1 universal, and then all my tolerance, and I get my AP. Nice.
All right.
It'll be a while before I have full universal again, but for now.
Mighty Blow would be a what tier enchantment? Would tier 2 be enough for that?
Yeah, that would just be like a trait. So, let me pull up the thing again. But yeah, it should be pretty simple. It's one of those like negotiable ones.
Right. Oh.
There it is.
Oh, I forget. How many enchantment slots does a tier 2 item have? If it's made of therium. I need to look at that. because I actually should keep track of that.
Made of therium?
Yeah.
It's I think 5. It's 5.
Ho ho.
But we can also, I don't think we're going to be doing combat, so if you have those sort of things, we can also do that afterward.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, tier 2 is definitely enough for it. But we'll figure out the exact amount once we have more time to look at the guide. So,
Cool.
yep. Importantly, all of your tolerance is unchecked, and you're feeling much better. And we'll do the actions of the upkeep later on. But for now, the morning arrives. You hear a bit of a commotion coming from the other part of town. Or rather, B, it's pretty close to you. B, you wake up to some commotion in the town square. Alright, let me actually get the town map up. B, you hear some commotion coming from the town square, and Isharn and Gim, you might actually not even hear it at this point, but the town crier is announcing the arrival of Lady Colleen, and Gim and Isharn, you hear the commotion as it begins to come down Craft Alley as she leads what turns into a procession of people following toward the Hunter's Lodge, and subsequently toward your merchant carts, as people are clamoring to find out whether anything is going to come of this. And from the Hunter's Lodge, Townmaster Avon is there, along with Gondak. Colleen approaches and says, or loudly asks, "How goes the quest? Has the bow been recovered?" And the crowd goes silent in what feels like a very long moment, until Gondak finally breaks the silence by saying, "Yes." And the crowd starts to cheer, and merchants who are starting to, who have been returning. You do wake to also seeing several merchants have come here in the morning. But Gondak kind of cuts their cheering short as he shouts out, "But more importantly, and first, we have lost one of our own in the search for this bow. Luther of our very own Hunter's Lodge, who was previously signed up to participate in this challenge, was unfortunately found dead. He came close to finding the bow. I believe his work was instrumental. But in honor of him, the competition is back on."
All right. Ooh.
dedicated not to myself, but to Luther. And with that, the crowd begins cheering once more, for they get to do their festivities. The various caravans, though it is not as many merchants as had been there before, 2 or 3 more have trickled back in and begin setting up, and they announce the competition will take place tomorrow morning. We have 1 day to prepare. Get ready. And with that, Gondak actually holds up the bow, and the festival's essentially
What is he not
begun.
gonna? He's not gonna mention who found it.
Do you say that?
I mean, Gim is probably in the car. He's like, "What?" Gim's thinking about just going up there, like flanking up and like going up. Like, you're not gonna mention who found it? It's us. It's us. Mention it's us. He might like tug on his pant leg or something.
Patience, small one, Gondak says quietly.
Oh, fine.
You will be presented tomorrow once the festival is fully beginning in its proper rights.
Okay.
And Townmaster Avon also calls you in toward the Hunters Guild, just inside, basically, and says, and he delivers to you the reward that was promised to whoever finds it. And he immediately questions, how do you want it divided up?
Well, I'll just hold on to it, and don't worry. I'm taking responsibility for all of us here.
I'll take a quarter of it, though.
Oh well, all right, and then maybe you also take some, V.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
So
You can hold on to the rest of my the quarter that I took. I want to make sure that gets to Luther's family.
Oh,
the just for player bookkeeping sake, B, how much of the 100 do you want?
Is this gold or silver?
It's gold.
gold.
I'll take like 1 gold.
Oh.
I don't need much.
Okay.
Actually, no.
10,
Take.
at least.
I'll take
You can have more.
5 gold. That's it. That's all I need.
Okay.
Okay. So
You
I
can
mean,
have more.
fairly, if you're
I
No, she said
basically-
5. It's 5.
if you're basically adding Luther to the pool, then it can be evenly divided 4 ways.
Yeah.
Which will be nice. But yeah, so for now, 70 to Gim for records. sake?
70 to Gim.
70
That puts
gold.
me at 104 in total.
5 to B and 25 to Isharn for the sake of bookkeeping.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Sharon, what are you doing? Luther can't do anything with that money. And then you
His
explain
family
to
can.
his family. I'm like, oh, family. Yes, I understand. My wallet. It's fine. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I take it you don't
Hello.
send money back home often.
I do all the time.
Oh, what?
He's
No,
always like this.
no, but can you imagine how much materials we could buy with all that? We could make such an amazing return. Sharon, imagine we invest it into our craft business. We then sell all the things that you make, the beautiful things that you make. I'll help sell it. We'll make, 2, 3, 4 times that amount. Then we can give some of that to Luther's family.
All right, I'll give this to them, and then as we make more, we could give that to them too. Is that what
Oh, Sharn! You're killing me.
Remember, Gim, money comes and goes, but kindness lasts forever.
you think? Speaking of kindness,
Kindness lasts forever.
you are entitled to more of this than you took. Just so you know.
Who, me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Sean, maybe 2.
Maybe
I'll take
2.
a nice. I don't know. Take the rest for Luther. His family needs it.
All right,
Well.
so I guess that's 20 more.
Over your.
Oh, fine.
Don't worry, Kim.
What are you
I'll
gonna
make
do?
something with the part that we're keeping. I'll make something really, really nice and sell it for a lot. Okay?
All right. But wait, what if we want to keep it? Oh no, the dilemma.
I'll make something
Okay.
specifically to sell.
All right, okay. All right, so 20 more gold to the Luther fund. I'm gonna
Yeah.
take it out.
It's the Luther charity.
So
Luther
I have
Memorial Fund.
84. I have 84, and then Sharn, you're gonna account for that 20.
Right.
Yeah, I'll keep track of the amount that we're gonna give away.
Okay.
Although I also just realized technically, Avon would not be the one delivering you the prize. What
No,
what
it
should
would
be happening is, as the commotion dies down, Lady Colleen approaches you on horseback alongside her strange purple-clad old man that follows her around everywhere, and says, "I'm told that you 3 are the ones who managed to recover the bow."
Why, yes, we did. And Gim already has his like a little his clawed hands out, like, yes, we did, we're ready, we're ready.
A little bowler cap.
Oh, you see Gim with the bowler cap on?
Yeah, he just pulls it out and like, put the money here.
She sighs. Well done. Finally, give them their reward. And the old man, with beady, just murderous-looking eyes, stares at Gim, and he reaches into his cloak, and he pulls out a fat sack of cash, and he just drops it into your little bowler hat, which is so heavy that it very much falls down out of your hands.
Hey.
And
A lot of marbles.
And Colleen says, "You've done a service to this town. I commend you for that. Your recognition will be granted tomorrow. If you're ever in Market Town, feel free to drop a line." And with that, she turns
Drop a line.
away.
What does she mean by that?
Do
She
you
want us
say
to go fishing? Yeah, Gim says everything. It's like but enjoy the festivities tomorrow.
And unless there's anything specific you want to do before the festivities begin, a lot of that will actually just kind of be the upkeep of time that you'll be creating stuff. But
Oh yeah, yeah. Sharn and I are gonna get to work.
little time
Mostly
skip.
Sharn. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Gim
Mostly
could set
Sharn,
up
'cause-
like a. I feel like you'd do well with like a dunk booth.
Yeah, that'd be great. I could build a dunk booth. Can I do that?
Go for it.
All right, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'll set up a dunk booth. That's fantastic.
I feel like you'd make an overly dangerous dunk booth and not realize how dangerous it is until you're in the situation. You get dunked in oil and and there'll be like a torch that'll fall into the oil. Yeah, you have a little dunk
Source
booth.
piranhas.
It's
Yeah.
easy enough to build because it doesn't have to be very big. It could be like a goldfish bowl.
Oh, you want me in the dunk booth? I was gonna...
That's what I was picturing. Who are you?
Oh,
gonna
I
put
thought
in
it
the
was
dunk
one of
booth?
those things where you get your friends to go in the dunk booth and then you like.
No, you seem like something that people would love to throw things at. But
Sure.
but yeah, so festivities begin tomorrow. The archery competition begins, and none of you are participating, but
Can I sign up?
do you want to?
Yay!
Okay, go for it.
I don't expect to win, but I'll participate.
Why, Sean, I didn't know you were skilled in bow and arrow.
I've dabbled a little bit with all the different weapons, but I won't say I'm particularly good. No. But
So
it's a festival. I'm not partaking in all the activities.
I mean, what if you built a special bow that gave you? We could enchant. You could enchant something real quick.
I think that might be considered cheating.
Oh, fiddlesticks.
fiddlesticks.
What's wrong with a little creative play?
Maybe there's different events where you can have a bow that's enchanted versus not enchanted. I don't know how these events work. I'm not a sporty girl.
Well, here, how about we tag? We can be a team, Sharn. I can help with the adjustments. Maybe I can make a sight for your bow. We can tinker a little bit together. We'll figure it out. I have pretty good aim too with my sling. So let's say if you're a little off, I'll just like bang and blind everyone else, and then I'll run up and I'll put the thing in the bullseye, and it'll be fine.
I think that's even more cheating.
But if they don't see anything,
They would be suspicious.
ah.
You are asked if you Avon will ask you if you want to be publicly recognized at the start of the competition.
Nope. Gim does. Just
Gim
leave me out
does.
of it.
Gim does. Gim does because Gim wants to say, "Hey, yes, we're the reason that the festivities are back, and we have a shop. Come check out our amazing goods. It's all made by an authentic Deep Forged. Get yours today."
Yeah, let him do that. And that should be enough.
Best farm
Okay.
equipment and maintenance and you name it. Just we do it all. Master craftsman. Isharn, it's my buddy Isharn. He's the big rock guy. And don't forget, if you're feeling hungry, if you're feeling peckish, if you have a sweet tooth, check out Nana B's Bakery. She
Nana
helped too.
B has a little pop-up stand in the area wherever the food is being sold, and she is selling pretzel-style bread that is in the shape of a bow and arrow.
Oh.
Maybe a special Gondax baguette. I don't know what to call it. Never been good with names.
Just over there with Ogden with having the
Gondax pretzel bow.
names are being constantly crossed out as you think of different ones.
I'm better with bee puns. Ugh.
What about Gondax pretzel bow?
Gondax pretzels bow. Pretzel stick. Pretzel. Yeah, pretzel bow.
It's a bow. It's because the pretzels are usually bow shaped.
Well, since you already did the announcement, we'll say that you have been brought up as Avon. Avon did have a little bit of a speech to introduce you, but yeah, well, as you
Oh no, I can wait.
you go off. He the next morning he brings, I guess, just Gim up, unless B wants. You didn't really answer if you want to be recognized.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's fine. I have done my service.
So he Avon announces, "Attention! We have here one of the heroes who rescued Gondak's bow."
And it's just this little pipsqueak. It's me.
And as you immediately start spewing advertisements and stuff, eventually he just pushes you, like shoos you away, says, "All right, excellent, very good. With that, let the competition begin." And yeah, go ahead. And so there are like 20 plus competitors in this, and among them you recognize Magpie and Micah. Micah being from out of town, but Magpie also being another local Hunters Guild member, and they're doing various events, various just general accuracy, like hitting the targets, shooting through. They can do the axe thing. They can shoot through the axe, the little axe holes. all the standard like archery stuff, but importantly, it is like round based, and so if you want to participate, it'll be elimination essentially, starting with like general knockout kind of thing. They're I feel like they would do. I like the idea of cool things. Like, so what if they have like balloons full of chalk powder, colored chalk, so that when they get burst, it like releases like a cool explosion of powder. That sounds fun. That sort of thing. But starting with just the basic knocking out anyone who can't hit the we'll say like 2 out of 3 attempts to hit the larger center of the bullseye, for the sake of Isharn participating. So this is where I believe we will use the this used to be one of the hardest things to do in this system, but now we have Nimble. Nimble is meant for this.
Oh.
So Nimble will work, or if you are proficient in bows, specifically, as one of your weapon proficiencies, then you could use diminished combat would be fine.
Okay.
And you've basically
I missed
got...
that first one.
Yeah. We'll give you 3 rolls, and you gotta get 2 out of 3 hits.
Alright.
I feel like
It's
Isharn's gonna be a
Nimble-based?
first round elimination, but that's fine.
Maybe
he's
Gim
trying.
should play. I don't think Gim can use a bow, but
I got a 1. So, watch out, Doc. I don't know.
Watch out, Doc. Yeah, and so
3.
in order, okay, so that would be elimination right there. So in order to like, build up the festivities and make it last longer, what they'd be doing is like, there's like all 20 contestants lined up, and they're gonna do one shot, and then they're gonna announce to the next person and do some fanfare, and do that shot, and they're gonna go all the way through, and then they're gonna do it a second time, and it sounds like on that second time, like Isharn's gonna miss both. The first one, I don't think you even hit the target. the first one, actually, I don't know. How how realistic is this for you? So you're a smith. You are not a Fletcher at the moment.
Right.
I feel like being a Deep Forge, it's reasonable to say that your first attempt, you just snap
Break
the
the
bow.
Yeah.
You
That's
just
what I
pull
was
it back
thinking.
too far. On your
Yeah,
second
I was
attempt, you
thinking that.
actually shoot it, but you miss. And at that point, you'll be one of the first round eliminations. But it continues on as the the crowd is amazed that you break the bow, that you snap the bow. You get some cheers from that.
I would argue he technically didn't get to shoot the bow since it broke it. I say he gets another try.
I start selling
Another one.
broken.
breaks the bow again. At that point, Gondak ushers you away and says, "Okay, we're very grateful to you, but please stop breaking the equipment."
I'm sorry. I'll learn how to fix them.
Honorable mention. He gives you a tiny little bow, tiny little bow pin for participation prize. You can wear it on your
I'll put it on.
shirt.
Yeah, I'll just
Is
put it to my shirt.
You have a shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wear clothes.
You wear clothes?
Yeah, that's a big part of his character.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He wears clothes to make humans more comfortable with him. He dresses like them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, he's got
Of
a
course,
picture and
Kim knows
everything.
that, but I didn't.
Sean
yeah,
inspired pretzels here, broken bows here, half off.
Oh, God. Literally.
That's fun. But as the competition goes by, more and more people are, slowly eliminated as they seem to have like a threshold for each event, right? So like 5 people are eliminated in that first like bullseye event, then they move on to the cool little like exploding powder event, and half of them are eliminated, and eventually it gets down to the final 3, and that's where they start doing the really crazy like trick shot stuff, where they are like shooting through multiple rings toward a bullseye. Like these are the people who are hitting bullseyes every time, no problem, and so they have to implement more crazy off the wall stuff. And when all is said and done, Magpie made it pretty far, actually. He got into the top 5. But the winner ends up being the young man who you briefly spoke with a few days prior, Micah from Silver Bend. And he's like 15. He's like a young, up-and-coming archer kid who he is very proud and honored to receive the bow, and he gives his little speech where he gives a background that he admired Gondak for being like a people's hero, and how he come in his village, hunting wasn't as prevalent, and he actually reveals that he kind of ran away to be here against his family's wishes, that he wanted to make something of himself, and he's very honored and proud to have shown to be actually a skilled archer, that it seems to have helped his confidence a lot, and he hoists the bow in the air and shouts out with glee and pride, starting off a cacophony of cheers. And for you all, I'm just gonna have you, because this is like a big merchant festival thing, and the whole point was to bring money into the town, for all 3 of you, since you're all merchants, each of you roll a merchant check.
Oh, great. All right. You know, I have 2 pixels. I was thinking about either putting it in some other skills or putting my merchant up to 3. This might be a good time.
Yeah.
Have it. Yeah, I'll do it. Ha ha ha.
Well, I got a 3 as well. On my roll, not my skill.
Oh yes. Sorry.
Ah,
Make a merchant check. This will be a little. So it's not going to be a normal merchant check. Add up the total of all the dice on your merchant check.
oh,
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Well, that's 11 for me.
Nice.
Well, that's my 3.
Plus your 3.
I got 5.
Okay.
Ooh.
Isharn, gain 15 gold.
Okay.
B, gain 25 gold. Gim, gain 55 gold.
55 gold!
Wow.
As
That's 70 total for our cards.
yeah,
Wow.
you,
70 total, you said? Okay. See.
Glad that worked out nicely. Yes, you. I guess your advertising worked, but
They certainly did.
So yeah, we're not gonna even have you pay for like product or anything. That just ends up being the net total you guys earn from the fact that the entire purpose of all of this was getting some money into the town, and you guys happen to get in on that.
Mhm.
And
Mm.
that also means having a lot of money, you can put that money back into the town by buying things from the various merchants. There is a full merchant guild here that has basically every service that you could want. Unfortunately, August is the only person here that is doing enchantment. Well, I guess Isharn is as well now.
Mhm.
That's true. I don't know if Isharn can do tier 2 yet.
I could.
You could. Huh.
Yeah, I've got a rune crafting skill of 3 and the chisel of autocorrect.
The chisel of
That's
autocorrect.
right.
The eye chisel.
Yep, I made it myself.
So I could get you and Ogden working on enchantments so that we get as many enchantments as possible in the shortest amount of time. I know only one person can work on an item at a time. It's because you need the item. But this is awesome. Awesome stuff. So you could be enchanting your own gear. I can get some stuff from Ogden, and so on and so forth. I currently am holding 154 gold and 1 silver. That's a lot of beads.
It is. You could be. Are you being
I'm just,
gaudy
like,
about it?
Covered in beads.
Are you keeping them like tucked away in pouches, or are you like blinging yourself out?
Every single strand of hair just has like a bead tied to it, and like
You're
just covered, like braiding it in.
You're like braiding it.
No.
Wait, actually, I think was Gim drawn with the beads? I wonder.
Was
if
he?
might
I
have
don't.
been.
I don't know.
I need.
I know he had
pull it up.
rope around him.
If I temporarily disable your camera, he has a few beads in that drawing. I know that's not a very accurate drawing, but I feel like you could definitely take some aspects of that. I think lower down on the drawing there actually are some like beads hanging from your belt and stuff, and that's probably very accurate.
Oh, that's great.
But cool.
Well, no, Gim's not too gaudy about these things.
Yeah, that just makes it more. Well, that's the thing that I'm very curious about how that would be for your character. Are you practical in that you would want to hide the wealth, or are you someone who would want to show off how much money you have and invite potential theft?
I think Gim is not the kind of person to necessarily think about theft as a thing, because he's usually the one taking stuff
Yeah.
on accident. Like,
Okay.
and so I mean, it's not that he's like, he doesn't hide things. He has intention to, like, he does have intention to spend. He's not it's not that he's a it's not that he's cheap or greedy or any of those things, but he has plans for the money. It's always that he wants to be able to spend it on other things, to have more, to then get cool rocks, and yeah, it's always that kind of exchange. He's always looking to make some kind of deal, and money just helps.
Well, in the interest of not having the event that you guys are barely, but like, this sort of event is cool, but it's a lot more cool if you actually are like an archer or something. We would go more in depth in it for that case, but I don't know that we need to spend a whole lot of time on this. Despite this being the thing it's all leading up to, it would all just be describing other people having fun. other NPCs doing stuff.
What do you mean? I'm having tons of fun. I just made 100. I have 154 beads. I'm doing great.
But with all of this kind of dying down, and the concerns of the bow being largely lifted, you do see that certain people, some people, especially some of like the farming folk that you can tell. I mean, 100%, like a lot of farmers are definitely coming to Isharn. That's where a lot of your profit was coming from as you fixed up tools.
Oh yeah.
You can kind of actually go ahead and give me an intuition check, a group intuition check. Does anyone have intuition?
Nope.
No.
Not even a little.
Okay, well, give me a B. Give me a variable intuition check.
What does variable mean?
It
In
just
this case?
means the degree of success depends on how many hits you get.
Okay.
Oh wait, hey, to be a merchant, you have to have some kind of intuition about the market around what people want and need. Could I use market as a diminished?
That is fair. I'll let you spend an AP to use market diminish instead. Sorry, B.
Oh, that's fine.
I will spend that AP. All right, here we go. Oh, that's a 6-5.
Okay, so
Nice.
you definitely pick up immediately that something's off. Like, people should be more happy than they are. There's like some like nervousness. Just there's like an unspoken tension still that you would have expected to be lifted. You're like, from your perspective, like, everything should be great. This is like the best thing ever. You're the hero of the village. People should be wanting your autograph for coming up here. But
I know, I've been handing my stones out with my picture on it. my business cards.
But you notice that especially the farmers seem to have like some stress that is still apparent. They're clearly pushing it aside for the moment and like trying to focus on the good stuff happening, but something you heard during your like first day here kind of comes back to you, and you do remember mention of a few things you remember mention of... Oh my gosh. How did I forget his name? It's like the one guy's name that I never forgot, and now I forgot it.
I know there was problems with some Fae and some problems with large beasts.
Holland. You
Ah.
you remember hearing that the Shrine Keeper Holland had been very concerned about the harvest, first of all, that there were poor harvests
Yes.
going on. And you also remember hearing something about a beast that was preying upon livestock as well.
Ah.
Basically, you're starting to like see, as this more pressing threat disappears, you do start to recall, hey, there are other things that were bothering people. And you specifically, Gim, as you are like in your ADHD elemental brain that you are,
Yes.
you also suddenly remember something about there being like a stone plague at a nearby
what?
village.
A stone plague?
And you listen. Also, this is you have plenty of opportunity to like eavesdrop on people who are just discussing things. And these are hot topics around the town. That you hear that what's it called again? That Clover, what is it? Clover Marsh. That over at Clover Marsh there's some sort of like stone plague that's been happening.
Oh my goodness. We must save the stones. Or
Well,
if it's anything like what happened to Oh no, we need to stop that. We need to figure this out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
also, Isharn, you're experiencing malfunctions. Occasional malfunctions.
What?
Oh right,
I
we
say
also
malfunction rather than like pain. you're not doing too great, but I mean you're okay enough, but
Yeah, maybe that's why you probably shouldn't have participated in the like you're wrapped in bandages, held together by pitch glue, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and let's put some tension on those joineries.
I'm fine. I can't move my arm. Give me just a moment. There we go.
hits it with a hammer a few times.
Yeah, see, I'm fine.
All right,
But-
buddy. Well, we better go find whatchamacallit for you.
Probably in Duskmore.
Actually, Market Town might even have. Market Town probably doesn't have one. Never mind. The Deep Forged are not humans. Generally, you would go to a Deep Forged city, but a human mega town would also have a district. In fact, you've probably been there several times. There's gonna be like a little oh gosh, what are your people called? I'm forgetting my own lore because we're not because it's all being dragged out so much. Wow. Hold on, let me go to Google to look up my own lore. The Corrin! Yes. You are the Corrin. I remember that now because the
I remember that
freaking
too.
yeah, that
Ancient.
Nintendo video game came out, and I was like, no, now everyone's gonna associate Corrin with that. I don't even know what game that's from.
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the little core town. Anyway, that is just reminding you of a bunch of other leads that you've gotten.
All right. How are we on time?
Aaron's leaving in about 30 minutes, a little less probably, or exactly.
All right.
And it's up to you with what kind of things you might want to follow. We can definitely do some fast travel-y stuff too. That place as well.
All right.
Duskmore.
Yes. Okay. All right. The festivities happened. We've made our cash. There's things we can buy, but we can deal with that kind of later.
I make sure to deliver the funds we set aside
Yes.
for Luther.
Oh yes, Luther's family. So when you go looking for Luther's family specifically, like to find out who all that is, that's what I was looking up, was the names of people. Here we go. Should be in here. All that you can find, or you find out that the only family that Luther has is actually his parents, who are a little elderly at this point. One of whom is the town seamstress, and the other is a logger, just one of the loggers of the town, and that is Hermios and Helen. His mother, Helen, is who opens the door when you eventually... Which I assume this is actually the day before. I assume is when you did all of this. Well, I guess you wouldn't have had the reward money. But when you go... We'll say after the events, you do go find his family, and his mother, Helen, opens the door and is a little startled to see a Deep Forged. She might not... She's definitely not familiar with your kind, but she does, after seeming startled, she calms down a little bit and says, "Oh, you must be the one who found my son. Gondak told me. It's all very heartbreaking, but I wanted to thank you anyway. Come in.
All right, I'll go in.
She recognizes you. You recognize her, of course. She's one of the...
Yeah.
You wouldn't necessarily be in the crafting guild, but you're probably part of the merchants guild of the town. And she's
How
a
old
fairly
is she?
prominent...
You said she was kind of older.
Older. I mean, so for this day and age, yeah, she's like in her... It's like early 50s.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because if she's older, then like, oh yeah, I would probably go way back. But nah, yeah,
she's like...
she's young. She's young.
She's young to
Compared
you.
She's young compared to me.
she's a little on the older side for the general life expectancy, but she's definitely still capable. She runs like a major fabric, or like the only seamstery shop, fabric shop in town.
Textile.
That's
shop.
it.
We've definitely talked, being merchants in the town. We are familiar with each other. So I'm there if that helps her feel a little less frightened or uncomfortable with Ishard.
Hermios is still out helping the festivities. He wanted to have something to put his hands to so we wouldn't have to think so much, but he's been he was out there changing around targets and the like. So, what brings you here? And would you like anything to drink or eat? She looks at Isharn and says, "There's." I'm sorry.
I'm good.
There's coal in the hearth. I don't know what you.
I'm good. We just wanted to. Your son played a big part in helping us find the bow. So we figured he was entitled to some of the reward. I came over to deliver this along with my condolences.
I assume it's like in a bag.
Yeah.
She stares at the bag and seems to be paralyzed by mixed emotions, and she says, "Oh, thank you, but this is surely too much."
It is not. If it wasn't for Gib, there would probably be more in there.
Throw me under the bus, why don't you? I can't believe you said that.
A drag.
Just trying to lighten the mood a bit.
Thus begins the fallout of Gim and Isharn.
Aww.
Gim's villain arc has begun.
I don't mean anything malicious behind it, Gib. Don't worry.
You were my rock friend. This is how I'm treated? I'm gonna go back to non-talking rocks for friends. They're a lot nicer. If this is what they have to say, I don't want to hear it.
Don't go to those rocks. They're just as mean, if not meaner.
Well, Helen looks to you all and is deeply moved and thanks you for... what was the number? What was the amount that it ended up being?
45.
Oh,
45
45
gold. That's pretty good.
You had to say it out loud. That's a lot. That is like
Almost half.
$4,500.
Yeah. That's pretty decent. Yeah, she's very grateful. And she says this will... We've been doing fine financially, comparatively. A lot of this will go back into the town, and I'm sure a lot of it will go toward his legacy. Creating a proper legacy. He was a little on the gruff side. Never did find anyone to settle down with. He was very dedicated to the hunting guild, and I'm just glad he was able to see his friend Gondak one last time before he passed on. Thank you.
Know that he was not alone in the final moments.
With that statement, her eyes well up and she breaks down crying, and I imagine we can fade out there.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine in the background, Gim's just kind of like punching Sharn's legs. Ow, ow, ow. Mm,
Be
ow.
careful, Jim. We don't want you hurting yourself. And remember, I did just fall apart yesterday or the other day.
B
We all.
gain a here. B and Isharn gain a story point for your financial sacrifice, and Isharn gain another story point for your being willing to humiliate yourself in the competition.
Okay.
And what about me? What about me? What about me? What about me?
You got mad cash. you don't need a story
Yeah.
point. That leaves me with one more to give out. Yeah. So, do we want to deal with Isharn's injuries?
Absolutely.
So,
Guess we could, yeah.
as
Don't give us the tough guy act.
I will be a tough guy, even if I'm falling apart.
so
That's the
the
spirit.
the next day, as much of the festivities are ending, or I guess you could even wait a few days if you like, because I'm sure the merchant side of things sticks around. Yeah, we'll say as part of your whole upkeep thing, that's going to take like 3 or 4 days. We'll say 4 days, and at the end of all that, when you're starting to feel better, and once you've made your loads of cash, because you made like $7,000 basically.
Mm-hmm.
That was a huge turnout.
Oh, yeah.
That might have actually been too much, but that's fine. You decide to take some of those earnings and go see what you can do about fixing up Isharn. And you head north along the road. Switching back to the regional map. You head north along the road to Duskmoor City. The city of roads. And B, do you accompany them? I assume you have some reason
yeah.
to stick with them. You're just
I-
friends now.
I like them. I don't have much else to do. When you're retired, there's really not much to do.
You're retired?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's why I bake.
I thought that was your job.
It's something to pass the time.
Okay.
Upon seeing Duskmoor, though you've all been here before, its grandeur never ceases to amaze you as you approach the massive 30-foot high walls with their large iron cage-like spikes angling out from the city in an anti-dragon defense. You pass through one of the primary entry gates. The guards ask for your business.
Oh, a business card. Here you go. Hand of a stone with a little drawing of my face on it. And on the back, it's scrawled out Gimmin and Sharn's equipment and craftery.
All right. Troubled artists, he writes down, and allows you to pass. And you are in the capital of Duskmoor. You make your way toward the small Deepforged community. It's probably less of a community even, and more just a select few who have decided to live there. And you go visit the priestess Hera, who recognizes you. I'm sure I don't know, with your attitude, have you been here before? For
Probably.
getting repaired.
At least a couple times.
As you enter first of all, Gim and B are not
I'm
allowed
so glad you know
in
where
the
to
temple.
go. Oh, no, what? I don't get to see all the cool stuff? Oh, all right. B, you want to go shopping? Sure, they got a lot of cool stuff around here.
That sounds lovely.
Isharn, you meet with the priestess Hera, who scolds you for once again damaging your pristine body.
It was a troll.
A troll, an arrow.
Let's not talk about the squishy humans. I'm just gonna say a troll.
So, out of character, we had discussed costs previously of this sort of service. So you have a collective, what, 12
Well, I'm whole.
hits that you need healed?
Oh my gosh.
I think so, yeah. 6
Well, we
for the
certainly have
health,
a lot of gold.
Yeah.
and then 6 for the injury.
Yeah. So, Isharn, she grumbles. I can't say it's not good to see you, though. Here, this will be a few
course.
hours, but... Oh my goodness. What is this mess of a patch job that's been done on you?
My friend gets a little excited around rocks. In all
Gim
honesty, I think he did
sneezes.
pretty good.
Gim's outside walking around Duskmore and sneezes like, I think someone's talking about me.
Could be together for a few days.
Well, it's gonna be a couple days to do all of this repair work. How long have you got?
I don't think there's any rush.
So, if you guys also want to take a second rest, there's no, I mean, there is stuff happening in the background. It's up to you if you want to, you don't, as far as you know, there doesn't seem to be any, pressing matters at this point. You've just been through a nice, stressful time limit thing. But she says, I can get you patched up all the way in about a week's time. We'll call it 60 gold. We can get you fully back to normal. Otherwise, if you're in a rush, I could take care of all the major damage and install some healing spells that'll take care of it over time.
60 gold? 60 gold? 60. I'm gonna have to watch over you like a hawk in the future so you don't get hit.
Really
60
investing.
gold? That's almost half of what we have. What?
It's half of what we made. You could just call that my half.
No. You already got your half. Oh.
That was B and Luther's portion.
She gives you options. She gives you options. The cheaper option, it would be 30 to get all of your health boxes unchecked, but you'd still have some. She'd recommend to take it easy, quote unquote. As
No, I don't
she
do
can
that.
administer. Actually, yeah. What would be the major difference here? It would
Oh
be
god, it's a good thing we're merchants. We'd never be able to afford this otherwise.
yeah, she could also give you a 45 gold option if you want to slowly administer some additional healing after leaving her care.
Just do the
That's it.
60.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do the 60 gold option, and I'll dread telling Gim about it later.
Oh
So-
my god.
This will give you guys another upkeep, and it'll give you some time in Duskmoor if you wanted to find any sort of specialty shops or anything like that.
Wait.
Yes?
Wait, so I imagine if Sharn doesn't have the beads on him, I have the beads, so when I come back, can I can I negotiate the price?
You can try.
Please don't get me excommunicated. I need these people.
Excommunicated. It's not a church.
I'm a priest.
The quote unquote priestess is more of a extreme master crafts person. The priest titles are those who are allowed to work on your on other Deep Forged. But yeah, you can give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm like 60 gold. But I've already put in some pretty good patchwork there, so that's less than what you have to do, you know. I'm
say,
sure you're yeah.
Since Erin has to be getting going, she will kind of mid-time skip as we go through this upkeep, as she melts away all the pitch and then starts she'll take some totally new runestone and stuff and begin a process of reattaching it to your body and filling it all in and applying various pretty magical salves, I guess it would be. They'd be like a gritty salve of a lot of it would have a lot of stone in it essentially that she'd apply to the cracks.
Like
that would be that will essentially magically become part of your body. She says to you while doing the work, since you seem to be committing yourself to a rowdier lifestyle, I'm going to implement a stronger shielding mechanism into your enchantments this time. Got it? That doesn't mean go testing the breaking points, but this should help keep you alive and in better condition. However, it will be more draining on your energy supplies. And with that, we'll have a actual lore reason for your sudden armor taking. But she's actually working all this in. And
Oh, we could upgrade a Sharn? I'll pay for that. I'll pay for upgrading a Sharn. That sounds good.
You know how
Good
there's a big
investment.
hole in his chest? I think you should just leave it there and put a little chair in there so I can control him from the inside.
Oh my gosh, is that an option?
Go Gadget Gundam.
I don't know how that would feel for a shard. He'd just have like a little parasite in his belly.
Who are you calling a parasite?
Yeah, he already has a parasite on his shoulder. Did you just point at him?
What are you calling?
He just points and laughs.
No.
Anyway.
What are we talking about here?
All right, so yeah, subtract. Well, Gim. Aaron's leaving in 5
Yes.
minutes, but Gim, if you want to do some quick discussion, we're probably going to be leaving off here.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes, of course. Here we go. So, um,
Yeah, she does at the end of like a week, basically, is how long this is taking. She returns with Isharn, returns from the dark depths of the under area to
mhm.
the surface with a bright, shiny, literally shiny, like she did the full
Oh.
polish job and everything on Isharn. He looks like a car straight out of the manufacturer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's got more chiseled muscles now, literally.
Woohoo!
And he's got some cool
Well, I mean,
new...
I didn't know he was gonna come out shiny.
Looking
There's
like
an air
the Tin
freshener hung off of his ear.
Man.
Oh, I should have negotiated before I got to see all this. This is too good now. I don't know.
Now you want to give a tip.
Can you do a color shifting coat?
Probably.
But what about you know, does he have a wax finish so the water doesn't get, you know?
Actually, how is she even knowing about Gim paying for you, Isharn? I'm sure you had a conversation. You seem to be
About
silent, though.
payment.
Oh. Yeah. So my friend has the money. He'll be right over to pay for all of that.
Oh, that bad influence you call a friend, yes.
Actually, he tried to keep me away from the troll.
I did.
Maybe I'm not giving him enough credit then.
No one ever does. No one ever does. But speaking of credit, you know, Ashar, and he's like you know, he's taking up this rowdier lifestyle. Don't know if you've noticed, but you know, we might be having to come back for future business. And you know, I must say, you do a wonderful job. You really do. But I was wondering if you could give us a bit of a deal, since we're probably going to be repeat customers.
Roll your merchant with disadvantage?
With disadvantage? With disadvantage?
He doesn't like you.
What? It's because I'm not made of stone, I know. Whoops, I dropped one. Okay, well, even with disadvantage, I got a 6 and a 4.
Nice.
Nice.
She sighs. Repeat customers.
Oh.
I ought to increase your fee for that.
I promise I'll take very good care of him. Yes, I'll take very good care of him. You'll never see him again. You know, I care about him very much. I take very good care. You know, did you notice in the pitch I even put runestone powder in there to help with the connectivity? I really do care. I don't want to see him get hurt. I'll try to keep him out of trouble. I can't help it. He's bigger and stronger than me. He makes his own decisions, but I'll do my best to steer him in the right way.
She looks at Isharn and says,
I'll try to stay in one piece in the future.
that checks out. I will say, despite the unsightly mess of patchwork that you did, it was helpful preserving a lot of the pieces, and though extremely rudimentary and clearly unskilled. She
I'd love
says
to learn from you.
scathingly, the runestone powder was effective to some degree. I'll tell you what. I'll knock it down to 50. But
Deal.
I better not see you back here anytime soon.
Got it.
Define soon.
10 years minimum.
Okay, we'll go. 10 years.
Let's keep walking before we figure out if she was joking or not.
All right, let's go.
It was a
put-
pleasure. I'll make sure to come by and say hi next time I'm in town.
Yeah, Isharn, you definitely have the understanding of your priests they're very rough for the sake of they really don't want you guys getting hurt. But
Yeah.
but you know they'll always fix you guys up. Your race is too, they take too much pride in their work, and your race is too proud in general to let any deep forge being destroyed is a tragedy to them.
Mhm.
You're like the Ferrari community. Like there's only 35 of you in existence. We can't afford to lose.
All right.
Yep.
Well, on
You
that
gotta
Yes.
head out
I
and
will go.
Yeah. And
experience
how much
gravity.
how much does it cost for us to stay in Duskmore for the week?
We'll actually have to discuss that a little bit.
Good session, Aaron.
Good
I
stuff.
trust
yeah.
you, Gim, to pay. So.
I'll trust
You
you.
get going. Bye.
So in the large hiatus between games and in my vague writing, had we been doing 1 gold for the entire party? I feel like that's accurate.
We had been. That is accurate.
Yeah, I think that was accurate. It wasn't 1 gold each. Right?
No, it wasn't. Though I can understand staying in a city can be more expensive. And I think we also discussed it too about it potentially being 1 gold each now, particularly since we are so flush with cash all the time.
Well, also because one, I don't want to discourage per se. I want to discourage like just kind of spam staying for all the like heals and free stuff. But
Yeah.
also for realism's sake, it is a little weird that a party of 2 would be paying the same amount as like a party of 8.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense in that way.
So I feel like we're gonna do 1 gold each. However, we are in Duskmore, so 6 silver each.
6 silver each. Okay.
You are in high market value area,
Ooh, this is a good place to sell things.
possibly. Although you would
Alright,
also
so-
be like street vendors, which would make it a little harder.
Yeah.
But people have a little more money here than like your farm town.
Yeah. Let's see. So 6 times 3 is. Wait,
18.
do we have to pay for a Sharn since he was being repaired the whole time?
That's fair. No, you don't have to pay for each shard.
Fair.
So 12 silver for the 2 of you staying.
Okay.
And it could actually be
Great.
less even. That actually should be a perk of gremlins, is they don't really take up space or need much food.
Yay.
So we'll just call it 6 silver for B, basically.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah,
6 silver
Gim
I'll
is...
I'll take care of it. Don't worry, B. You traveled this way.
And
Thank you.
thus, I believe we'll pretty much conclude our wind down session.
Yeah.
All right, and we are at an even 103 gold.
Oh, and how many pixels are you at right now?
10.
10.
10. I think you can get another one for this session. It's fine. Go up to 11.
I won't
Woohoo!
argue that.
And shall I end the stream recording stuff now, or shall I keep streaming as we? I mean, if you guys have time, we could figure out what you're doing on all your rests and creation stuff, item creation and all that.
The thing with item creation is that Aaron is the primary crafter.
True, but you can.
I'm the merchant.
Well, you have actions still too. So
I do.
Figuring out what we're gonna do with those.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and stop the stream so we're not bloating it.